Boxing Source here with another video, and I wanted to talk about the upcoming fight card that is on Friday, October 30th. It will be there in Indio, California, Fantasy Springs Casino, headlined by the middleweight bout between Jaime Munguia and Tureano Johnson. You have Jaime Munguia there, the former WBO super welterweight champion, 35-0 with 28 KOs, going up against Tureano Johnson. They're the Bahamian Olympian that is coming in with a record of 21 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw with 15 KOs. You had the thing with Tureano Johnson getting a stoppage victory over Jason Quigley last year. And of course, like I said, you had Jaime Munguia out there who, did have the fight against Gary Spike O'Sullivan, where he was able to score a stoppage victory over Spike O'Sullivan. That was in January of this year. And of course, he had a few fights defending that WBO super welterweight title after winning it in 2018 against Saddam Ali. A couple fights that were notable were against Liam Smith. Had the decision win against Liam Smith and against Dennis Hogan, where a few people felt like Dennis Hogan got the better of Jaime Munguia in that particular bout, but he was still able to get the win and stay undefeated. You do have Tureano Johnson there coming from Nassau, Bahamas. Like I said, had the win over Jason Quigley last year, but that was a response after, having a split decision draw against Fernando Castaneda back in February of 2019. But before that, he was inactive since his stoppage loss to former world title challenger or multiple world title challenger Sergey Derevianchenko. So this is one bout that he's been looking forward to try to get himself back into the world title hunt in the middleweight division. He did come in to the weigh-in earlier today at 159.6 pounds, while Jaime Munguia is there at 159.8 pounds, pretty much at the limit there for middleweight. So this is going to be something there, as Tureano Johnson is a very tough out for any opponent, and something that Jaime Munguia has to look out for in this particular bout. While Jaime Munguia is there at 35-0, he's still, a fairly, I would say, a very young guy there. He's still, 24 years old. I mean, y'all gotta, figure that, even though he has all those bouts, he was, just there at 24 years old. So, of course, he had a lot of fights over in Mexico before having his kind of like his U.S. debut around 2017, and then we did see him once again in the U.S. against Saddam Ali, where he was able to get that WBO Super Welterweight Championship. So he's kind of like built up his record since then, and now he has this particular bout here against Tureano Johnson for a vacant Intercontinental middleweight title. So kind of like puts him in position to potentially fight for a world title if he gets the win over Tureano Johnson. But at the same time, Tureano Johnson is looking for a world title shot himself. So that particular bout is one to look out for. Like I said, with Jaime Munguia, while he did have a pretty good performance there against Spike O'Sullivan earlier this year, he's had a few times where he's gone through full 12 rounds, like I said, against Dennis Hogan and against Takeshi Inoue. And Tureano Johnson is a very slick fighter. very cagey and crafty there in the ring. So something for Jaime Munguia to try to, I guess, figure out what Tureano Johnson is going to be doing there in the ring in order for him to get through that particular bout. The co-feature is going to have Rashidi Ellis against Alexis Rocha. And that one, oh man, I feel like that is going to be one particular bout to kind of like not sleep on. Both of those guys undefeated. Rashidi Ellis there at 22-0. Alexis Rocha there at 16-0. It will be for a minor welterweight title within the WBC. And of course, the welterweight division has always been a so-called glamour division. But, with these two guys here, the winner would kind of like put themselves, I think, within the top 8 or so in the WBC rankings. You do have the likes of Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Gedegis Cavaliauskas, Josecito Lopez, and Ray Robinson around the rankings there in the WBC. And the winner of this particular bout kind of like puts themselves in that conversation as a potential world title contender in the WBC. But if not in the WBC, then in other, sanctioned bodies or boxing organizations, as Rashidi Ellis is fairly highly ranked in the WBO and does have himself entered in the rankings in the IBF as well. And you could say the same for Alexis Rocha, as he is ranked in the IBF. So the winner kind of like says, hey, this could potentially, put me in a position to fight for a world title really soon. I'm not sure if it'll be 2021, but they would at least say that when things kind of like clears itself out a little bit in 2021, then the winner of this fight could have themselves put in a position to fight for a world title within the next, I'd say, 15 to 18 months. So you have the fighter there, Alexis Rocha, 16-0, 10 KOs, had the fairly clear victory over Brad Solomon in his last fight. That was February 14th of 2020. And Rashidi Ellis had his last bout on November 23rd of last year against Eddie Gomez, winning by unanimous decision. So, both of those guys came in, within weight. For Ellis, it was 146.8 pounds, and for Rocha, it was 146.6 pounds. So those are the two, highlighted bouts for the fight card there. That will be in the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. Jaime Munguia there, Tureano Johnson, middleweight bout. And you have Rashidi Ellis against Alexis Rocha there in the welterweight division. Also, a part of the card, you're going to have Lamont Roach Jr., former world title contender, there going up against Neil Tabanao. That would be at lightweight. You also have Elwin Soto there against Carlos Buitrago in the junior flyweight division. Marlon Espanza versus Suleiman Urbina there in the flyweight division. And Beck Melekzuev against Alan Campa in the super middleweight division. Plus also Tristan Kalkruth versus Tyler Vogel there. So full card that's out there for Golden Boy Boxing, under Golden Boy Boxing. There, the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California. So that's going to be a good set of fights there to watch tomorrow. So look forward to that, and we'll see what the results are in those particular bouts. Be sure to subscribe to this particular channel and hit the notification bell so that you know when we do have new videos coming up, and you could catch the podcast that's live on Sunday nights. And it's also available via podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. On that note, folks, I'm out. Peace.